Let's get it.
It is an absolutely gorgeous day here in the Carolinas, and I'm so glad to see it. Beautiful fallish-like day. I know I had said that it was a fall day here in Charlotte like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, but come to find out we weren't yet into the fall season. But all praises to the Most High. Once that weather change, we tend to make it the season it feels like, at least in our own mind anyway. I know I do. But I am absolutely ecstatic to have the privilege to say something good about the Most High. I was thinking about that on the way over. How the Most High didn't have to let me survive that stroke. He didn't have to let me survive that brain surgery, or procedure as my wife would say. He didn't have to let me survive the open heart surgery and then repairing a defective heart valve. Nor did he have to let me survive the 3 major surgeries on my left leg to pull out them blood clots. But he did. And I am so grateful. And I don't take it for granted. Let's come on up higher today. This thing is a little dirty. And I've learned, and I'm learning to not take things for granted. And how also to be like a duck with water going over my back. No problem. It is what it is. So be it. We're gonna move on. And once you keep that attitude, or get that attitude, life will be a whole lot easier for you. And that's just a few wise words coming from a 51-year-older who have seen his share of ups and downs. But I brought that thought up today because of something I saw on the internet or on a post. It was a very popular actor, and he was saying that once you take this attitude in life, it'll change your life. And I'm not gonna name the fella's name because I don't want to take away from the words. And because of what this fella does for a living, you might want to think of the idea a little bit differently. And maybe not, but I'm not gonna judge it or judge your thinking. I'm gonna just give the idea, which that's the most important thing anyway. He said, like I said, once you take on this attitude, your life would instantly change. Just like on my walk up, I said I get to do these things for the Most High, share about His word, share about my testimony. And not that I got to. See, we always have that choice to where we can start saying, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta go to work, I gotta get up. And then it starts to become a regret at times. You're regretting doing them things instead of saying, I have the privilege to get up today. I have the privilege to go work on the job. I have a privilege to say something good about the Most High today to my fellow believers, or brothers and sisters in Mashiach. We're gonna do it like that today because that sun is right over there. I don't like it hit me like that on the side. But all praises to the Most High. I was thinking about this thought for today and realized I could go in so many different directions, but I'm going to be obedient. Like the text says, obedience is better than sacrifice. And we know this from the story of forefather or ancestor Saul or Saul, who was disobedient to the orders given to him by the Most High through the prophet Samuel. Prophet or seer Samuel, however you want to look at it, by the man of the Most High Samuel. The Most High told him to kill everything going into this certain city or area or kingdom. And Saul was hard-headed. He said he was listening to the people. And the people said that we're gonna sacrifice this stuff that we're gonna keep to the Most High. Well, that was Saul's excuse. But we all know how men folk do. And I did want to share this text for today. And it's one coming out of Proverbs 30 and 5. Hey, how you? Alright? And it's every word of the Most High is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. That was one of my texts for today, coming out of one of the apps I read my scripts from. And I thought I'd share that because it was such a blessing to me earlier this morning when I woke up. And like I said, I could have went in a whole host of different directions today, but I'm gonna be obedient to the Most High. And as I always like to say, and if I didn't, I apologize, and if I'm repeating it, I apologize. I do hope everyone is well, and that you are having a great day so far, and a great start of your week, which would have been on yesterday, but a great start to your work week, or whatever the Most High has you to do today. But hopefully you'll be able to get out and get some fresh air, some sunshine, and as we always say, some exercise, some good old exercise, where you're getting the recommended hour in to where you're getting your heart rate up. But my thought of today, it's gonna go right back into our idea from last week, and it is occupy till I come. But the main idea for today is it all lines up, with emphasis on it. It all lines up. And a side note to that, which I'm putting two thoughts together. It's all his. It's all his. He does what he wants with it. Occupy till I come. So it all lines up. It's all his. He does what he wants with it. So occupy till I come. And the main text for today is Romans 8 and 28. Very popular script. But I want you to listen to the words we put emphasis on before. All. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yah, to them who are called according to his purpose. All things. And we're going to look at Psalms 24, 1 through 6. And this is why all things work together for the good of those that love the Most High and that are called according to his purpose. like I say, Psalms 24, 1 through 6. The earth is the Most High's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he hath founded it upon the seas, and established it upon the floods. Who shall ascend into the hills of the Most High? Or who shall stand in his holy place? He that had clean hands and a pure heart, who have not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. He shall receive the blessing from the Most High, and righteousness from the Elohim of his salvation. This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob. Salah. So we see right there in those scripts that the Most High is working everything together for our good, for those that love him now and are called according to his purpose. And the reason he can do this is because what we saw here in Psalms 24:1. For the earth is the Most High's, and the fullness thereof. That means the earth is his and everything in it. All things are his. The world and they that dwell therein. And we know world means system or order. So we understand that even though we're living in this world in a certain order, that the order is the Most High's too. That means those folks in charge is the Most High's too. Those folks that have authority over you, say your boss, your landlord, your teacher, all of them are the Most High's too. And a script I did not look up, but the Most High has been having me quote that in my spirit and out loud, is the Most High turns the heart of a king, like he turns a river to go whatever direction he wants it to go. So that's encouragement for us today. That no matter what's going on, like we said on last week or the week before, the Most High is in charge. That reminds me of this old sitcom that was played back in the 80s, maybe the 90s. I think it was the 80s. And it was called Charles in Charge. Charles in Charge. And he was basically a housekeeper, I believe, but he basically ran the house because of his, his influence over the family members. Yes, sir, Father, that's a good thought. And we know that we could say, like that same sitcom, that Yah is in charge. Basically because of the influence he has on the players. All those players in our lives. All the people in the house, his earth. So we know that when the Most High says all things work together for our good, we have to back up to that script, because we love him. Basically, like the text says, if you love me, keep my commandments. So we keep his commandment, and that's not only the written commandment, but the commandment he gives us in our heart daily. See, a lot of times we want to forget the daily part. We like to remember that one day out of the week that we set apart to worship the Most High. But he told me like 2 months ago, have a lifestyle of worship. Live a lifestyle of worship. And I was reminded this by something my sister Joy Lester says, who has a YouTube page that sings and writes and plays the piano. Powerful singer, Joy Lester. Check her out when you get a chance. You will absolutely enjoy her singing. But she has a song called "Oh Taste and See that Yah is good. Blessed is the man that trusts in him." Powerful. But she said, and she made a statement, that our very lifestyle should be a lifestyle of worship. Not when we sing and not when we go to church. None of these things, but when we get up in the mornings, we're having a lifestyle of worship. And what I was saying is we're called, all of us are called to a particular purpose. That's why we're made. Pardon me. And I saw another post by the fellow that played the Black Panther. I didn't know he made this statement, but it was very powerful for me to see it. But he said, it's not important to find a good job. It's not important to have a great career, but it's important to find your purpose. Because once you find your purpose, all of those other things are going to take care of themselves. You're going to be able to work your job. You're going to be able to have your career within that purpose, and then you'll be taking care of everything else. Everything else in your life will line up once you start figuring out your purpose and walking therein. But like I was saying, it's important to walk in purpose daily. And a lot of times we're not going to be walking in the fullness of our purpose every day, but we're walking towards it. We're going towards it. We're moving towards it. We're studying for it. We may be going to school to line up with that purpose, what the Most High has called and made us to do. But it's all about kingdom work, kingdom activity. And a lot of times we may not be, like I said, working that kingdom purpose, but we're doing kingdom activity to get us to that purpose, to get us to our set aside position that the Most High has made and has called us to. Hallelujah. This is a good idea. Good thought. And I'm going to let that be our thought for today. I did have one more script that I wanted to read over. And this is out of Romans 8. Also. Just read out over the all things work together for our good. So we're going to move on down to who shall separate us from the love of Mashiach? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of the Most High, Yahuwah, which is in Mashiach Yahusha, our Adonai. And that's the last part of Romans 8. I think around 34 to 39. But I would highly recommend reading over the whole part of Romans 8 because that's where the meat of our idea was today. The main one is Romans 8 and 28, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahuwah, to them that are called according to his purpose. Pardon me. And one final script, and that's Ephesians 5:19 and 20. Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, thanks always for all things unto the Most High, the Abba, in the name of our Adonai, Yahushua HaMashiach. Pay attention to these scripts, and it's saying all things. Just like we saw at the end of Romans 8. It spelled out basically everything that would come against us. And he's saying none of them things will be able to separate us from the love of the Most High. And we know, like we said up in Romans 8 and 28, that all things are working together for our good because we love him and because he loves us, and we're called according to his purpose. See, once we get on that path to walking out his purpose, yeah, all these things gonna come against us. Death, angels, principalities, powers, height, depth. All these things are gonna come against us to take us off that path. But as long as we keep on, like this script here says, speaking to ourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in our heart to the Most High, giving thanks always for all things. And then that goes back to our text. See, we're keeping these songs and spiritual songs and hymns and psalms before our face all the time, all day, every day, because it's reminding us that every word of the Most High is pure, which we see in Proverbs 30 and 5. He can't lie. And it says he is a shield to them that put their trust in him. So what are we actually trusting when we trust in him? His actual word, what he said about the situation, what he said he's going to do. That's what we're trusting in. His word is pure. And that simply means he can't lie. He's not going to lie. See, it says in the text that the Most High is not a man that can lie. So Most High willing, we're going to jump on this bike. Get us in a strong 13 to 15 miles a day, Most High willing, depending on the weather they're calling for. Afternoon storms, but I think we got out here early enough today to avoid that weather. But all praises to the Most High. And I would encourage us today to take the time to simply slow down. Like I was slow down. What I am, slow down. And like my Uncle Lord used to say, and see, I hear this saying a lot of times, and it helps me. He would say, lay down and think about it. He would get a little tipsy, and that's when he started laying on the love. He was like, I love you from the bottom of my heart. Now lay down and think about it. So this is what the Most High is telling us today. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Now lay down and think about it. Or Salah this moment. All praises to the Most High. And I was thinking, I've been really waiting on the Most High to give me a free to reach out on this group in the North Carolina and the South Carolina groups here on Connect, HebrewConnect.com. And I've been patiently waiting for him to give me the free and the idea of how to approach it. But I think what I'm going to do, Most High willing, is start off by like a testimony night, an encouragement night, maybe a night where us folks in the group will want to come together and give our testimonies concerning the week, or like I do, give a thought of encouragement during the day. Just let that be our time to get to know one another and have prayer. But the Most High willing, we'll figure it out and we'll start it up. This may be the introduction to it right now. A night of fellowship, and Most High willing, I'll come on and try to reach out to all of us and figure out what day will be the best day for us to get together and get to know one another. Like I said, to encourage each other. It may not be a point where we're actually meeting face to face yet on in a particular place, but our Moray Dwayne Harris has set it up to a point where we can meet live on this platform. And the name of the platform is Hebrew Connect. So Most High willing, it's time for us to connect within our group. But all praises to the Most High. As always, I love y'all. Stay up and keep pushing forward in the right direction. Shalom.